Alright, subject to this video is going to be this 1992 Geo Metro convertible. It's been around a while, as you can see by the rust. Those not located in the Midwest, that is caused by rock salt and other things in the winters here, and it is very hard on the cars. And in this case, now that's worrisome enough down there with the rocker panel rotted out and such, but the real problem is the floor is partially missing underneath that carpet. That carpet has become structural carpet, is the only thing holding my feet from hitting the road, I think. So like everything on camera, it looks very flat, but it is not. The part right in here is very much down. It looks like there's a support that must run back and forth, and then probably it's rotted out on the other side too. I'm going to have to pull everything out of this car and get a good look and see what it's going to take to put the floor plans for this car are not available, even though online it says they are. If you order them 4 days later, they'll cancel your order, so don't bother looking. None available, especially for the convertible, which is a different one than the regular one. So I'll start by removing the sill plate, which has already removed itself over the years with the plastic clips breaking and all. I'll do the same on the other side, and it's just going to be a matter of disassembling this car in order to get the carpet out and see what I'm looking at down there. I'm sure it's going to be quite a horror show once we really get the carpet out and can see all the damage. And every one of those broke into complete oblivion. They're dry as a bone. So what I see here is the carpet goes to the back of the rear area. So it goes from there, you know, to the front. We don't have to take off anything in the trunk, which is good. But to get that out, you're going to have to take off the console, probably the emergency brake, the seats, whatever else trim pieces that are kind of trapping it. Maybe this has to come out first. No, we can sneak it by, I think. Get the emergency brake up out of the way. Shift her out of the way. Shift her back up where it's happy. And I'm pretty much already resigned to the fact that every plastic clip I touch, I will be replacing. Because they are brittle and very old. Depending on how this works out, I may not even have to take that carpet. Most likely can slide out from underneath those panels if I have to, but most likely I don't need to even mess with that, so I may be able to just fold it up and leave the carpet there once I get the seats out, so I'm going to do that next. I don't know, folks, that seat bracket's looking Looking a little rusty there where that bolt goes in. Ah, she slipped off. Try the other one. That one's in nice shape. This one, the head is looking sorry. Oh yeah, that's junk. Haven't had one spin like that on me in a while. Goes the back. Good. Looks like that one's part of it too. Okay. Get pretty good on those, but the front one's going to be trouble. I literally hammered on that socket, which is smaller. Come on, don't break off. Ooh, we might have got lucky one more time here, folks. Nice. I suspect there's probably a wire for the seatbelt interlock, but let me see what we got. Yep. Ah, it does have a release clip. Nice. Ooh, look at all that money. No rust at all on that one. Uh-oh. But will it come back out? Oh, that one did. Whoa! Don't go bad on me at the last minute now. I'm gonna let that one cool off a minute. Another rusty one. Yes. Ah, that's where all those receipts went. That should have the carpet pretty much loose. I think I can just pull it out from anything else that would be under there, under the front. There's probably maybe a couple pins. A lot of times they put like a pin and then a washer to trap it. Let me see if that's the case. So I'm on the passenger side floorboard, and that's exactly what we got. Actually, this one looks like it's a screw-on one. That one's just a plastic push clip, I can see that. Pull it off around that. Alright. Ooh, we get our first look at the passenger side. Well, not nearly as bad as the driver's side's gonna be. I'm gonna push this wire down through so I don't get belligerent and rip it out of there. It's harder to do stuff with one hand than you think. Alright, same thing here. Got one clip, two clip, and we're free. And I'll have to take this off. Or no, I'll just slip my carpet. I really don't care on this car. I'll just slit the carpet. It's going to be easier than taking that bracket off. Really doesn't matter in an old car like this. Almost forgot this little guy. Oh, come on. Is that it? Yeah. Sweet. First look at the lack of driver floor. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's toast. Oh, that's beautiful. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's all ground. That's all of the ground. Wow. Okay, let's assess what we got here. No need for me to push this back any farther because if there is good news here, this cross brace and this cross brace are still solid and looks to have a decent connection over to here, this side plate. I think some of this was added because it's convertible and they had to reinforce it because they can't use the top of the car to reinforce some of it. So I believe that might be why this car still exists, if there is a reason why it still exists. But yeah, we can see, you know, just complete and utter devastation there. But here, we're still pretty solid there. You could see some rust, but it's not really all the way through. And so we'll just be working from here forward, which gives me someplace good to weld onto on both sides. Unfortunately, they got this. Oh, good, that comes off in the sheet. If this will also come off in the sheet, that'll give me a good place to weld along there. That's some sound deadening stuff. I think it'll just chip off then, maybe, instead of be all gooey and impossible to weld to. So this might work out okay, but I'm just so glad that the seat has something solid to bolt to, because that gives you a good, you know, good solid mount for your seat belt clip in the middle, and so that's not rusted away. That's good. We don't have to concern ourselves with that. Passenger side, similar. We're pretty good here. The seam here is a little rough, but I'll just clean that up with wire wheels and see if we can get away with not having to redo all that. Again, it's from this brace forward that the issue is. We're not really missing a lot of metal. That gap there has opened up. As you can see, it's wet right now. These cars weren't known for being sealed real well, so that attributes to the issue of re-rusting during the non-winter. But yeah, it still has something there, but we'll see about how far we're going to go on this side. But the driver's side obviously is completely pooched. Start by just getting some of this loose stuff out of the way. It's amazing. Brand new floor, completely missing floor. Get me a prying tool. Whoops. looks like that front piece is just a sheet with some fiberglass or some insulation on the back. Yeah, I just rolled that sheet up because it turns out it goes way up under the dash, way past where we're going to be working. Oh yeah, we got some rod up here too. Some of this is stuck really good. Others of it just fall right off. Okay, so I've got these wires. I don't want to disconnect these. Eventually I will have to, but I need to move the car, and that's how you move it, is one of the solenoids that you need. But I just want to keep excavating some sort of glue or clips, or I don't know what used to be there, but it's not there anymore. Wow, that was almost worn through the wires. Boy, those must be tough wires. Didn't skin any of them, but it was close. Good. This will get way out of my way when I need to weld and cut. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm under the car. Equally as scary under here, as far as where the floor meets the rocker pan, things like that. But it does have this reinforcing rib in the middle of that driver's floor, so that'll help me greatly with support and also matching the height that the floor is supposed to be once I get the other piece out. This part I'm not going to show on camera. I'm going to go along here and just try to cut nice and even, sawzall, grinder, whatever, not cut into this channel. That's the channel from underneath that's supporting it all, and just try to, you know, start cutting some of that rust out so I get an idea of what I need to put back in. A little bit of humor to entertain myself. So this looked like metal, so I went to cut it, and all it is just rust and the heavy undercoating that this car must have been factory sprayed with. None of that's even metal anymore. Hilarious, but not. Quick note: the Geo Metro fuel lines are just to the right of that cross member. Uh-oh. Okay, so just continuing the destruction. I have completely severed both gas lines off and nicked into what I assume is the vapor line, because the other two are smaller and those are obviously brake lines. So I don't know, do you go by averages? Is that good? I don't know. Anyway, I still got to get all this crud out of this channel because that's just going to create more rust, and I've got about the size I want. I followed the floor pan. It had a curve in it that was built in, and then I kind of cut along the line almost on the other side there, and then that'll get me good metal to tie into over here. The front, I'll overlay that up. I'm going to leave that bottom piece, that's a separate support that I cut some off, but not all. I'm going to just overlay the front piece. I'm not going to try to remove that because there's no need. That 3/4 is good. This 1/4 is missing. And again, I don't want to get into any of this metal. I don't want to take any of that out that I'm not going to put back in. That's the structure of the vehicle. So also this. So I want to tie into this the best I can. So there'll be a lot of cleanup and prep work before I can weld all that. If I can, I'm going to come up to, you know, depending on how big of a piece of metal I get, I'm going to come up to here maybe where I'm getting into good metal, but I'm going to leave that there. There's some structure there yet. Don't mess with it, especially on a convertible. Up next, I got this U-channel cleaned out now, and there's actually drain holes in it. Who knew? I did it with water. I got a lot of jaggedy metal. Some of it came off clean, some of it still has metal on it, some of it has jaggedy metal. I'm going to clean off the tops of those flanges. So I got those rails, got the metal off. Interesting, there's a joint here between front and back This one, I'm leaving that piece there. Seemed to be a joint in that cross member, so I need to possibly weld that first, if I remember. Anyway, also started cleaning up some of this stuff, just cleaning off the main booger rust off it and seeing what we got there. Looks pretty good. Here's what I've got done. So yeah, I already had the center channel all good, but I went around here. I've washed it since, so it'll probably re-rust a little bit, but there was the most important improvement that I've made. I went along with a wire wheel, a heavy cup wheel, and ground off the rest of that remaining insulation or sound deadener, and got down to clean metal at the edge, so I'll have a chance to weld there. And then did the same in the front, cleaned all that up all the way around. So I've measured mine out. I want to go from about there over and then up till probably above that hole, so about 20.5 inches in my case. And I've got a sheet here. This is stainless, not really recommended to weld the similar metals because the heat's different and everything else, but I'm going to try it. I just can't stand to see it rust again, so it currently has a white coating on it. As you can see, it's normally silver, like that side.